Good morning, everybody.
Morning!
Thank you all for coming today. I really appreciate it. I'm Red Wing Mayor Sean Dowse. We're here to mark the start of the new Red Wing Bridge construction. The current bridge is behind us. The Eisenhower Bridge has served our region since 1960. The new bridge, which will take shape over the next 2 years, is expected to last 100 years. For our community, road construction has almost become a way of life. We're ready for this project, but we will also be happy when it is done. When President Dwight Eisenhower visited Red Wing for the dedication of what was then the Hiawatha Bridge in 1960, he talked a great deal about the United Nations. It was a speech about partnership and cooperation. And that's the story here today, nearly 57 years later. The Red Wing Bridge project is a story about partnership between agencies, communities, and states. It's for the common good. The bridge that will be constructed will improve and enhance our safety, our commerce, and our efforts to welcome visitors to this community and the region. And from this vantage point, we will be treated to a show of hard work and determination as construction workers place a new state-of-the-art bridge across the mighty Mississippi during the next 2 years. It's an historic time. So thank you for joining us today. I will introduce each of our guest speakers this morning, and they will tell you a bit about their perspectives on the bridge. Our first speaker represents the Minnesota Department of Transportation, Chief of Staff Eric Davis.
I'm here on behalf of my boss, MnDOT Commissioner Charlie Zelli. He regrets he couldn't be with you today, but he sends you his regards. He's in Maine, meeting with other state transportation commissioners on talking about the national priorities on transportation, so it's important that he's there. The development of this project's been going on for a long time, and it appears that the result of this work is a very sound and good project that, as the mayor pointed out, will serve this area for nearly a century. I want to also take a moment before I give up this podium to thank our partners in this project, the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. MnDOT has worked with Wisconsin on a couple other big bridge projects, one of them that we anticipate opening up in Stillwater, Minnesota in late August, or early August rather. We appreciate greatly the spirit of teamwork that has helped us succeed in these projects, and we know that will be shined in this project as well. Last but not least, this is one of the last projects to receive funding from the state legislature under Chapter 152. It was a bonding authorizations that followed the historic collapse of the I-35W bridge, and since that time, we have used that funding created by the state legislature back in 2008 to do work on more than 100 bridges across the state, ensuring their safety and reliability for years to come. Congratulations, Red Wing, on what will be, I think, a fantastic bridge for this community. Thank you for having us today.
Jerry Menzel is the Northwest Region Director for WisDOT, a key partner in many of our transportation projects through this important river corridor along the Wisconsin-Minnesota border.
It's exciting to move on to the next phase of the process. Construction is finally getting started. It's one thing to go through all the steps it takes to get to this point, but it's another thing to actually get out here and build the project. And I just have a ton of respect for our construction industry and Zenith Tech, and congratulations to them on being the prime contractor on this exciting project. We look forward to working with them during construction. We ask for your patience during construction. It won't be without impacts, but I think if we keep the end in mind, and you have some experience with that, with recent construction here in the city, keep the end in mind, and we look forward to being here in a couple of years to cut a ribbon and celebrate being with you folks. So thank you very much.
And I'm going to keep my comments based on roads and bridges and infrastructure. And what we did is we did pass the bonding bill this morning about 4 o'clock this morning. What does that mean for the city of Red Wing? That means we're going to get more money for our Riverfront Renaissance project. More money to keep our TB Sheldon up to date, bring it up to standards. Also means that railroad safety crossing out at Sturgeon Lake Road. We're going to have a railroad overpass. That was funded as part of our road bonding bill. And finally, we passed $300 million in additional funding for roads and bridges for the state of Minnesota this year. It's a bonding money we haven't had for about 9 years now. It hasn't been additional funding. So I'm really pleased and happy to be here to tell you that. And as I reflect back on my years growing up here in town and riding my bicycle down here to the boat harbor to take the boat out on the river, or going across the river to visit my sister in Wisconsin, we're doing a lot of improvements with Highway 61 and infrastructure here in town, and this just adds another element to our infrastructure improvements, which is going to make it better for our economy here in the city of Red Wing. It's going to make it better for people to come here, visit here, work here, and enjoy our beautiful town and surroundings. And I look forward to all the improvements that we're going to have here, and I look forward to the improved safety with the bridge. And I'm going to miss the Eisenhower Bridge because I grew up on it, but times have changed. It's time to upgrade, time to improve things, and I look forward to seeing that project come to fruition. Thank you very much.
It is a learning curve, but one of the things that I wanted to do in Washington was get on the Transportation Infrastructure Committee, and I'm glad to say I'm on that committee because these projects are so important. The Red Wing Bridge project is significant for our region, both states, Minnesota and the United States. As one of the 5 thoroughfares that connects Minnesota and Wisconsin south of the Twin Cities, the Red Wing Bridge is the only route over the Mississippi for 30 miles in either direction. It plays a significant role, not only in Red Wing, but the entire region. And that's why it's so important. That is why the city of Red Wing, both our states, the federal government have come together in a bipartisan way to get this project started. It's a great example of how government can work together on both sides of the aisle. So I want to thank both departments of transportation for prioritizing this project. I want to thank everybody here that's worked so hard to get it done, because these are the types of infrastructure projects that have an economic return. And we're going to do a very, very big infrastructure bill in the 115th Congress. And we're going to focus on projects like these that actually improve productivity, improve transportation, roads and bridges that make your commute easier. I look forward to working with all of you on further improvements to infrastructure and getting the Minnesota and the economy of this country going again. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for your efforts, and it's great to be back in Red Wing. Thank you.
And as I've been working in St. Paul on lots of issues this session, one of the things that stands out is how strongly our community comes together on projects like this and how well we work with various departments. The Highway 61 project is a testament to that. I've gotten to know the folks at MnDOT and the folks in our county and city that worked on that, and I'm sure this project will be the same. So excited to see it kick off. I live south on 61, so I'll be watching the detours closely. Thank you.
Additionally, our 2 U.S. senators were unable to attend this event today, but send their congratulations. Senator Klobuchar's staff is here. We invite them to read a letter from the senator. Here is Kyle Olson from Senator Klobuchar's office.
Dear friends, thank you for inviting me to participate in today's groundbreaking ceremony for the Highway 63 bridge at Red Wing. Congratulations to everyone who helped make this important connection across the Mississippi River a reality. I was proud to help bring over $28 million in federal money to support this project because I know how important a safe Highway 63 crossing is to the region. From the scenic river bluffs to the Port of Red Wing to iconic businesses like Red Wing Shoes and Red Wing Stoneware and Pottery, this area is a destination for many Minnesota travelers. This connection will help keep those travelers safe and area businesses competitive. In Minnesota, we know all too well the importance of investing in our transportation infrastructure. The collapse of the 35W bridge is a tragic reminder that we cannot afford to let our infrastructure deteriorate. This project is just one example of the progress we can make when federal, state, and local governments come together to meet our transportation infrastructure needs. That's why I was proud to pass the first long-term transportation bill in more than a decade, the FAST Act. Because of the FAST Act, Minnesota has received an increase of $36 million in 2016 and will continue to receive increases each year up to $107 million in 2018. forward to our continued progress in the years to come, and I am honored to serve you in the United States Senate. Sincerely, Amy Klobuchar, United States Senator.
So here's a message from Senator Franken. I'm sorry I could not be with you for this groundbreaking today, but I want to thank everyone involved who got us to this milestone. Like many bridges in Minnesota and across the country, the Eisenhower Bridge has aged beyond its intended life and is in need of replacement. This project has had to thread a needle between two different states, a major shipping waterway, and a thriving downtown Red Wing. So I'm sure it didn't provide any complications at all. But sincerely, thank you to everyone who has gotten us this far, and I hope the construction process goes smoothly. Infrastructure investment is one of the pillars of prosperity, and I hope this project will help Red Wing and the surrounding region prosper in the future. Thank you.
So, this is a groundbreaking. And since we can't get right on the site, we've got a spot right here for a ceremonial groundbreaking. I invite our speakers and several others to join me with a hard hat to shovel over there. After we're through, we'll welcome any to take a turn yourself with a hard hat and shovel for a photo. Thank you again for coming and helping us kick off this historic project. Thank you.